Well, hi, hello, my dear students. Welcome to my video lecture class. Right up to now, I uploaded video lectures on the chapter Magnetic Effect of Current. Dear student, this chapter is very important for the board as well as NEET point of view. So please watch the lectures till the end. Definitely you will get a clear idea about this whole concept. Right. So today, I will discuss 2 points. After that, I will enter into a important concept. So what are the 2 points? So we know two parameters, B bar and pi. B means magnetic field, pi means magnetic flux. So what is the relation between B bar and pi? What is the relation between magnetic field and pi? So pi is equal to BA cos theta. Pi is equal to BA cos theta. Okay. BA cos theta. Generally we are indicated with pi is equal to BA. Okay. If theta is 0 degrees, pi is equal to BA. Then B is equal to pi by A. B is equal to pi by A. Okay. Magnetic flux is equal to magnetic field into area. Magnetic field is equal to magnetic flux by area. The SI unit of magnetic flux is Weber. The SI unit of magnetic flux is Weber. The CGS unit of magnetic flux is Maxwell. The SI unit of magnetic flux is Weber. The CGS unit of magnetic flux is Maxwell. Next, SI unit of magnetic field. Units are very important, ma. So please observe carefully. What is the SI unit of magnetic flux? The SI unit of magnetic flux is Weber. The CGS unit of magnetic flux is Maxwell. The SI unit of magnetic field is indicated with the B. Okay. So what is SI unit of magnetic field? Magnetic field is equal to pi by A. That means pi means magnetic flux. Magnetic flux unit is Weber. Weber by area unit is meter square. Weber per meter square, or simply we can call Tesla. What is the SI unit of magnetic field? The SI unit of magnetic field is Weber per meter square or Tesla. Next, CGS unit of magnetic field. CGS unit of magnetic field. So we can write magnetic field is CGS unit of magnetic flux is Maxwell per centimeter square or Maxwell per centimeter square or Gauss. Okay. So these units are very important. I will recapitulate one more time. Please observe carefully. What is the relation between magnetic field and magnetic flux? Relation between magnetic field and magnetic flux is pi is equal to BA cos theta. That means pi is equal to BA. B is equal to pi by A. B is equal to pi by A. That means magnetic field is equal to magnetic flux per unit area. Magnetic flux per unit area. We can define magnetic field like this. Define magnetic field means define magnetic field. Sometimes they are asking define magnetic field. How to define magnetic field? The ratio between magnetic flux and area is called magnetic field. Okay. So sometimes they are asking what is the definition of magnetic field. The definition of magnetic field is ratio between magnetic flux to area is called magnetic field. What is the SI unit of magnetic field? The SI unit of magnetic field is Weber per meter square, because magnetic flux is measured in Weber per meter square, or Tesla, simply we can call it. Cesius unit of magnetic field is Maxwell per centimeter square, or Gauss. Next, the SI unit of magnetic flux is Weber. The Cesius unit of magnetic flux is Maxwell. So this is about units of magnetic field and magnetic flux. Next, relation between SI unit of magnetic field and Cesius unit of magnetic field. What is the relation between SI unit of magnetic field and Cesius unit of magnetic field? So SI unit of magnetic field is Tesla. Cesius unit of magnetic field is Gauss. So 1 Tesla is equal to 10 power 4 Gauss. This is answer for this question. What is the relation between SI unit of magnetic field and Cesius unit of magnetic field? 1 Tesla is equal to 10 power 4 Gauss. That means 1 Gauss is equal to 10 power minus 4 Tesla. 1 Gauss is equal to 10 power minus 4 Tesla. Okay. So this is the relation between SI unit of magnetic field and Cesius unit of magnetic field. Next concept. Biot-Savart's law. So this is a very important. Biot-Savart's law concept is very important for the board as well as a NEET point of view. My dear student, please focus well from the beginning onwards. Definitely you will get a clear idea about this topic. Right? So observe carefully. What is meant by Biot-Savart's law? What is the use of Biot-Savart's law? So mainly, you know about magnetic field. Magnetic field is a vector quantity. Magnetic flux is a scalar quantity. Magnetic field is vector quantity. You know already, if any physical quantity is a vector quantity, it has both magnitude and direction. Direction of magnetic field we are finding by using rules. How to find magnitude? Please recapitulate concept. Already in the previous lectures, how to find direction of magnetic field we discussed. Okay, and then how to find a magnitude of magnetic field. Okay, so by using Biot-Savart's law, we are finding magnetic field at any point due to current carrying infinite infinite or finite length of wire. Finite length of wire. Okay. So what is the main use of Biot-Savart's law? By using Biot-Savart's law, we are finding magnetic field at any point. We are finding magnetic field at any point due to current carrying infinite or finite length of wire. If you take infinite length of wire, if you take finite length of wire, some current is passing through it, definitely it will produce some magnetic field. That magnetic field is acting on particular point. That magnetic field is acting on particular point. So the magnetic field at any point can be found by using Biot-Savart's law. So derivation. What is the derivation of Biot-Savart's law? I will discuss now. What is the derivation of Biot-Savart's law? So let us consider a wire. So let us consider a wire. This is a small wire. I consider infinite length of wire. Infinite length of wire I consider. Let I be the current passing through it. Some I be the current passing through it. Let us consider a small element of length dl. Okay. In this whole length of wire, I consider small element of length dl. Dear student, please observe carefully. This is very, very important concept. For the board point of view, definitely this type of questions are asked in every year. If you observe previous year board questions, this question is very important for the board. So please observe carefully. This derivation also very important. Let us consider a wire. Let us consider a wire. Consider a wire. Let consider wire. I be the current. Be the current passing through wire. Current passing through wire. Through wire. Consider a small element of length dl. Consider small element of length. Small element of length. Small element of length. Small element of length dl. Okay, small element of length dl. So my dear students, if you know already, according to Oersted, current carrying conductor produces magnetic field. Some current is passing through this wire. Definitely it will produce some magnetic field lines. You know already, current carrying conductor produces magnetic field lines. So current is passing through this wire. Definitely it will produce some magnetic field lines. Those magnetic field lines are acting at this point. For example, I will consider this is some point P. This is some point P I consider. Okay. This is some point P I consider. So how to find magnetic field at this point P? Let I be the current passing through this wire. Due to the current carrying conductor, some magnetic field is acting. That magnetic field is acting at point P. Okay. So that magnetic field is acting at P. So here, just draw the line from small element of length dl to P. So this is I consider as some R bar. Okay. Here R bar is a position vector. Position vector. The angle between the small element of length, angle between the small element of length and this R bar is theta. Angle between here, angle between dl bar and R bar. dl bar and R bar is theta. dl bar and R bar is theta. Okay. So due to current carrying wire, some magnetic field is acting at a point P. Due to current carrying wire, some magnetic field is acting at point P. Okay. some magnetic field is acting at point P. Okay, so that magnetic field how to find? How to find magnetic field at point P? Magnetic field at point P, how to find? So by using Biot-Savart's law. By using Biot-Savart's law, we are finding that. So now observe carefully. How can we derive this? So here, magnetic field dB is directly proportional to electric current. Magnetic field dB is directly proportional to dl. Magnetic field directly proportional to sin theta. Magnetic field dB is inversely proportional to r square. So this is equation A, this is equation B, this is equation C, this is equation D. Okay. So the magnetic field, this current carrying wire produces some magnetic field according to Oersted. That magnetic field is directly proportional to electric current. Current is increases means magnetic field also increases. If current is decreases means definitely magnetic field also decreases. dB is directly proportional to I. dB is directly proportional to the small element of length dl. If dB is directly proportional to sin theta, dB is inversely proportional to r square. Here r is the distance from point P to and dl. So from A, B, C, D equations, from A, B, C, D equations, dB is directly proportional to IDL sin theta by r square. So from A, B, C, D equations, dB is directly proportional to IDL sin theta by r square. If you remove this proportionality limit, we are placing some constant. That constant is, let us consider that constant is mu naught by 4 pi. Mu naught by 4 pi into IDL sin theta by r square. So here dB is equal to, so this dB is directly proportional to IDL sin theta by r square. If you remove this proportionality limit, we are placing some constant. That constant is mu naught by 4 pi. So, okay. So this is what is here proportionality constant. Proportionality constant is equal to mu naught by 4 pi. So that is equal to 10 power minus 7. 10 power minus 7. That value is equal to 10 power minus 7. Okay. So that value is equal to 10 power minus 7. Here mu naught is permeability of free space. Permeability of free space. Mu naught is permeability of free space. So this formula is very, very important. So this is a derivation of Biot-Savart's law. So dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into IDL sin theta by r square. Here mu naught by 4 pi value is 10 power minus 7. Mu naught is permeability of free space. So we will discuss few more details about this Biot-Savart's law and these applications of Biot-Savart's law in further lectures. I hope all of you understood this lecture. While watching this lecture, if you will get any doubt, feel free to mention in comment box. And my humble request for you, so please revise concepts regularly and practice numericals and derivations every day. So all the very best.